I'm Stephen Wilson, King's Counsel. Wilson Wells, as the name might suggest, is a firm that I am the managing partner of. The other partner is my colleague Chris Wells, who unfortunately can't be here today. Chris and I were both partners of one of the oldest and most respected law firms in the Caribbean, Graham Thompson. Graham Thompson celebrates its 75th anniversary this year. It's the largest law firm in the Bahamas. I moved to the Turks and Caicos Islands, as I said earlier, in 2001. Joined at that time one of the oldest and largest firms in the Turks and Caicos Islands, and moved around firms for a bit, and then decided in 2023 that I wanted to be the master of my own destiny. Part of that is the fact that I was, as I said, a barrister in England, and as a barrister, one is self-employed. And it took me another 20 years before I said I want to be self-employed again. So we opened up Wilson Wells. We are a boutique law firm that specializes on the one side in litigation, on the other side, property law and development. And we, as a result of being well known as the best law firm in the Turks and Caicos Islands under the banner of Graham Thompson, we've segued into being into Wilson Wells, and have maintained that momentum, and as a result of which we're seen as the leading law firm in both of those disciplines. I've always thought it's an important part of the firm to be part of a network. I have, in my various guises in the Turks and Caicos Islands, been in firms that are part of networks. And I have to say, one of the things that most attracted me to IR Global was the fact that it was not the firm that was the member, it was the individual. That's really benefited us as a result of the transition from Graham Thompson to Wilson Wells. I've said to many members of IR Global, it's a 1 in a million chance that you're going to need a law firm in the Turks and Caicos Islands. It's probably 1 in a 5 million chance that you're going to need a litigator in the Turks and Caicos Islands. I didn't join IR Global in the expectation of getting work. But having been a member of IR Global since 2016, what I've been able to offer our clients is the clients can call me and say, Stephen, I trust you about virtually everything in my business life. I have a problem somewhere else in the world. Do you know anybody? And I can say yes. In our own case, we've had a client in Germany that didn't pay their bill. We went straight to Ulrich in Germany and had a very successful outcome. As I say, people don't generally need somebody in the Turks and Caicos Islands, but there's an awful lot of members who need somebody in the Caribbean. And whilst the network may not have many members in the Caribbean, those that they have will always be able to recommend somebody in the Caribbean. And that's very important. I feel very proud of being the go-to person that people will call or email and say, Stephen, do you know somebody in Antigua, Barbados, etc.? Yeah, in terms of referrals, as I mentioned, we are a tiny jurisdiction. People don't necessarily need somebody in the Turks and Caicos Islands, but let me give you a classic example of how things have grown since I've been a member. Tom Gorman, great guy from North Carolina, sent me a piece of work. It wasn't a huge piece of work, but as a result of which, we got to know each other better. He now says he has about 13 clients with properties in the Turks and Caicos Islands. That's a great thing to know for us, and it's a great thing for him to know that he has somebody who can handle things in the Turks and Caicos Islands. We'd like to instruct you on a transaction. It's a huge transaction. Your team will know that our visibility is important. It goes back to what I said earlier. It's unusual to need a lawyer in the Turks and Caicos Islands. That being said, as an economy, we are dependent hugely on North America, in particular the US and Canada. So we've been very active in the East Coast group. I can't say enough thanks to Michael Keane and what he does for the East Coast group. But America, North America, is our space. That's not to LATAM as well. We see a growing influence of the Latin American countries throughout the Caribbean. It was a no-brainer. New Orleans, we knew it was going to have a lot of US members or North American members present. We thought about it in Boston last year, but we were only 1 year in as a firm, so we decided to pause and wait. I'm not sure what our expectations are of getting something out of it, but I think we wanted to say we're here, we've arrived, and I know a lot of members know who I am after 8 years of being a member, but I'm not sure that they necessarily associate me with the brand Wilson Wells. So we thought it was important to put our name out there.